alcohol prohibition. Dear Billy No Booze, I've made it a thing where every Sunday I read about something I think I know a bit about. But if I asked for detail, wouldn't be able to give much insight beyond common knowledge. I mean, you just explained everything that I ever talk about. Trying to avoid sounding like everyone online and on podcasts. Guilty as charged. Last week, I decided to read about prohibition. I learned something interesting. I learned some interesting things that you probably wouldn't know because the topic is one where everyone says what happened casually and can't offer anything more. Neither can I. Here are some takeaways. It wasn't led by religious nuts. It was led by scientists. Some really dumb-sounding ones at that. Here's an example, or here's an excerpt from a study explaining it better than I can. To sum up the, quote, science behind prohibition, society had tremendous numbers of pathologies on the loose, and they all traced to one dominant variable, liquor. You mean people with loose morals that were out fucking around? There was poverty, crime, fatherless households, illiteracy, political alienation, social immobility, city squalor, and so on. You can look carefully at the data to find that in all these cases, there is a common element of alcohol. More than any other single factor, this one jumped out as the main one, and hence the most plausible caustic agent. It only stands to reason if you think in this two-dimensional way with no thought to unintended consequences that eliminating this factor would be the single greatest contribution to eliminating these pathologies. Ban the liquor and you strike a blow against poverty, sickness, family breakup, and crime. All right, so they're like most causes or crusades, their heart was in the right place. They didn't think about all the other shit that they were going to create because people would still be like, give me the booze. And then you create the black market. The evidence, as they understood it, was incontrovertible. I don't know how to say that. Do this, then that, and you are done. To be sure, the augment wasn't always this clean. Simon Patton, 1852 to 1922, was the chair of the Wharton School of Business. His late 19th century argument for alcohol prohibition featured a complicated argument concerning the weather in America. It gets cold, then hot, then cold, and alcohol consumption seems to track these changes, driving people to drink ever more until their lives fall apart. Imagine being one of the dummies that heard a scientist say we need to ban alcohol because of weather, then parroting that shit on the street. Alcohol is fine in the islands, but not here in the lower 48. Anyways, hope you found that interesting. I did. Because as much as I agree with what you were saying, it also made me see how little they knew about addiction. And that they didn't understand addiction and alcoholism. So then they kind of took it away from everybody. I remember my grandmother used to tell me, used to make beer in the bathtub. It was something that you did back in the day. And they had themselves a great old time. And that's also, when, they'd say you were blind drunk because when you drank either poor qualities or I think alcohol of a really high potency, you could actually lose the ability to see for a period of time. Not a great amount of time. I don't know how long. Let me look this shit up before I sound even dumber than I do. How long do you, I'm not using quotes or any squiggly lines, lose your sight drinking impure alcohol? Jesus Christ, this shit. How long does it take alcohol to get out of your system? Fatal methanol poisoning, a drink to die for. Jesus Christ, I suck at this. All right, quote, blind drunk. Origin, we'll do that first. The phrase blind drunk, the phrase Dutch courage has been used English language. The earliest accounts seem to date back to the 30-year wars where British soldiers noticed the apparent increase in bravery that the Dutch soldiers gained from consuming. No, I mean blind drunk. History of blind drunk. So drunk that vision and senses are impaired. The expression has been used in... So I guess you don't literally go drunk. That's another one that I thought happened. I thought you literally lost your sight. Like you couldn't fucking see for a minute. Now that I say that out loud, that sounds really dumb. It might be true. I don't know. All right. Why don't I just stick to the jokes? All right. Friend's boyfriend's grandmother tries to sue. Hey there, you bald-headed booze bag. Well, here's somebody who hasn't listened in a while. I haven't drank booze in almost 3 years. I'm over 1,000 days, no booze. Other than some NyQuil I drank the other night, but I didn't do it for the buzz. My friend is having a little predicament, and I wanted to hear your thoughts. The other day, one of my friends threw a surprise party for her boyfriend, and I helped set it up. I helped set up the party. We had the party on the roof of a building, which was about 3 flights of stairs. When the family of the boyfriend arrived, they all walked up the stairs. Oh, God. The grandmother of the boyfriend complained about the amount of stairs while walking up to the roof. We did not think much of it since it is pretty normal for people to complain about stairs. When she got to the roof, she was pretty winded, but fine. All right, you got me on the edge of my seat here. Is she going to have a cardiac episode here? Someone offered her a chair, and she sat down. After sitting down, she immediately passed out and fell on the floor. Oh, no. When she fell on her arm. Jesus Christ. Each sentence gets worse in this story. When she fell on her arm and went through the floor. When it went through the floor, she touched the stove. Immediately, her family members helped her up to put her back in the chair, and she woke up a few seconds later saying that her arm hurt and that she didn't know there would be that many stairs. My friend and I went to get her some ice to put on her arm. Yeah, shake it off, Grandma. There's no reason to bring the fucking cops here. All right, later in the night, it started to rain. So we had to wrap up the party early, and the grandma and a bunch of other family members left. They went to the hospital since the grandma was complaining about her arm hurting, and they found out that her wrist was broken. Oh, Jesus. After finding this out, the grandma reached out to my friend saying that she will be suing her for personal injury. Does she have a case? Am I a lawyer? I don't know. In this day and age, I think anybody has a fucking case. I don't think she should. She should have tapped out. Did you specifically invite her? Or did they bring her? All right, hang on a second. Why are you trying to get legal advice from me? Family arrived. They all walked upstairs. The grandmother of the boyfriend complained. Wait, the other day, my friend, we threw a surprise party. I don't know. Did you invite her? Did you, on the night of the broken wrist in question, did you or did you not invite this old bag of bones to walk up 3 flights of stairs? It's not as if she slipped and fell due to something that we caused, like some water on the floor that we did not clean up. It seems she walked up the stairs too quickly. I mean, I like that angle. Just say the boyfriend walked her up too fast. I mean, this is going to end your friendships, but I mean, at this point, if they're coming after your money, these aren't your friends. She walked up the stairs too quickly and she passed out. Also, my friend is really mad the boyfriend on behalf of the family. Also, my friend is really mad the boyfriend on behalf of the family, even though the boyfriend is taking the grandma's side. Okay, what kind of sentence is that? Also, my friend is really mad that the boyfriend on behalf of the family, even though the family is taking the grandmother's side. Actually, when the boyfriend FaceTimed his grandma to ask if she was serious, she looked dead in the camera with a sad face and said, "Look at my arm. Look what they did to me." Real fucking dramatic if you ask me. And the boyfriend has moved out of the family's house for the time being. Oh, the boyfriend of the person with the party, and that's his grandma. So he sided with the girlfriend rather than his grandma from the old country. Oh, boy. You know, you try to have a fucking birthday party. You know, this all goes back to those animals in Florida. If they had just worn masks, you could have had the fucking thing on the first floor and not have to party on the roof. I'm just blaming Florida for everything now. And the boyfriend has moved out of the family's house for the time being until everything cools down to live with a friend. What are your thoughts? Do you think the lawsuit will go through? Also, do you think my friend and the boyfriend have a chance to stay together? They've been dating like 2 years. Go fuck yourself. Thanks for reading. All right, if this is the boyfriend of the girlfriend who threw the party, who the grandmother's going to sue, and the grandmother is the grandmother of the boyfriend, I think the only chance you have of this lasting is if the grandmother dies soon. So then she wouldn't be at the wedding. The family of the boyfriend. Okay, well, the other day, my friends threw a surprise party for her. One of my friends, she threw okay, so they've been together for 2 years. She tries to have a surprise party. His grandmother, he brings his grandma along. So this kid's what kind of a fucking young man brings his grandmother around, right? A kid who was raised right. A kid that has a sense of family. You know what? That makes me feel like the grandmother's trying to milk this. She's full of shit. She's evidently not from the greatest generation. She a baby boomer? Yeah, they have a chance to stay together, but they're going to have a ridiculous sense of humor about it. They really are.